What's up, everybody?
This world just gonna let your arms around me. I gotta find that video, man.
That is so epic. Which video?
So there's a video online of some local band doing an amazing cover of Unholy Confessions, and it is gold.
Dude.
But that's exactly how he sounds, and we might have to throw it in at the end of the video.
Was it fronted by Scott Stapp?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
So good. It's so hilarious.
That's nice. I like that. And welcome to Beards Be Rankin, the show where we and our soup savers rank, song by song, your favorite albums from the aughts and on. I'm Adam Ford.
And I'm Justin Scott. And today we are talking Avenged Sevenfold, Waking the Fallen.
Let's go.
I'm pumped, dude.
I'm so excited, Justin.
I can't believe how long it took me to realize that it was actually waking and not waking the fallen.
Yeah.
It took me till last week or
Justin,
something like that.
This has to be a Mandela effect thing. It has to be. Because my entire life up till last week, it was waking the fallen, right? And that's just what it was. And then I go and search it, and it's waking the fallen. And I don't know, is that a Southern thing? Because Southerners, they drop their G's. They, I'm going to the store. Yeah. It's not, I'm going to the store. That hurts. That hurts my
Rankin.
Southern tongue. It hurts to say them letters. Anyway.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it. Dude, I am so pumped. I absolutely love this album. I have to say, it had to have been, I don't know, probably my top like two or three records in high school. Like
it's up there.
I honestly, when we were coming up with it, and I was talking to Heather, and I was like, "Do you have any black nail polish? Can I wear some black nail polish for this?" I don't have any on me, but I was like, "Or should I get some eyeliner? Can I borrow your hair straightener? Take me back. I want to go back to my days, my high school days, man."
If we hit 3 cheers, then we'll bust it out for sure.
They're both. I mean, yeah. That was just the image, and if you look at like some of the early, I mean, even some of these later, like they've toned down the whole like emo look, kind of, but those early photographs of Avenged Sevenfold. In their like get up, and they're like, it's heavy metal, but it's still like they got the teased hair in the back, super straight, slicked over, eyeliner. I mean, dude, it was an image. It was a time.
Back to the Hot Topic days.
Man, I miss that store. I wish they'd let me back in.
Never again.
Well, Justin, I know. We're here to talk about this fantastic album. And
dude, so I did a video like another one of my first videos where I did like this album, like albums in 1 minute, and this was one of them. And so on my phone currently is like the audio from that video, and because it's A7X is like in the title, it's the very first thing that plays if I don't have Spotify. So every morning I'll hear this album essentially
dude,
in 1 minute.
It's perfect. The universe is telling you.
I've been waiting on it.
Yeah,
I know, man.
You need more Avenged Sevenfold in your life. I will say, I listened to this album. I had their first album, the Sound the Seven Trumpet, and then I also had City of Evil, and then I like moved on. And going back to this record, I should go back and listen to some of their stuff after City of Evil.
Same.
But Justin, let's introduce this band to those who may not know them. Avenged Sevenfold is from California, and this album in particular was released in 2003. Avenged Sevenfold is an American heavy metal band from Huntington Beach, California, and they were formed in 1999. Which, if you ever see their one guitar player who's got the 6661, and their whole reasoning is that it's just the year that we formed, upside down,
Epic.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this band. And that California roots, and I mentioned that twice, but I really want, like, it is so cool to see how that they use that influence in this record, that there's something just so Californian about their sound. Definitely in this one, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've made sure to grab a clip or two that I was like, you can just hear it. You can hear a sunny beach somewhere, which is funny because they're so like dreary looking. And this album almost has like a Tim Burton, Danny Elfman-esque like haunting. Like it sounds like it could be like the theme music to like mini horror movies.
Didn't we just, which first and foremost, R.I.P. the Rev.
R.I.P.
We just watched a couple weeks ago that documentary on the Rev on YouTube, and didn't they say? I mean, he's like classically trained pianist.
Yep, classically trained
and
pianist.
Didn't they like kind of like cite that he's like influenced by Elfman, and I feel like he helped kind of write a lot of this stuff too. So I mean, that makes sense.
He was more influential than you think most drummers are. And speaking of like the Rev, let's talk about these personas, these personalities, if you will.
Yep.
So you have on lead vocals, you have M Shadows, right? They all have stage names. M Shadows does lead vocals. You have Sinister Gates, which is lead guitar. You have Zachy Vengeance, which is rhythm guitar. You have Johnny Christ, the bass player, and then of course the Rev on drums. Dude, I could not. Back in the day, even as a young, becoming of one who likes metal, I thought this was really cheesy. Like all these stage names, but man, dude, they hold on to it and they stick with it. And now, unfortunately, the Rev is passed, and they now have Brooks Wackerman as their drummer. And I really want to see what people think his stage name should be, because it just can't be.
It's just Brooks, yeah.
Brooks, yeah. Like, come on, let's see some. Let's get in touch with your dark side, I don't know. There's got to be something out there. There's some pun.
I wonder if he feels like he's even he's a real part of the band. Maybe he still feels like a fill-in.
That's unfortunate. If he does, because I think he's the second longest standing drummer that they've had, other than the Rev. Because if they formed in 1999, and then he passed in like what 2008 or 9?
Yeah, something like that. Late 2000s, I think.
Late 2000s, and then they had Mike Portnoy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just did drums for that one record.
Just for the one record. I remember hearing something about him. Yeah, I remember hearing something about him saying like they were too jealous of me. I was more famous than they were. I was like, okay, yeah. At least to me, at that point in my life, like I'd probably listen to like 2 metal albums, maybe 3, but like the Black Album from Metallica, and then that was honestly my first like real. Oh God, I forgot. I forgot about the thumb thing.
It's my favorite.
Anyway, the Black Album from Metallica, like which my stepdad had, and I listened to that one, and that's what got me into kind of metal music. And then I listened to like hard rock, but not really metal before this. I was really into like Nirvana. And then this was like the first like more modern metal, and what a great way to like get introduced to like this scene. Like you could say this was like one of the pioneers of metalcore.
Exactly, like much like Seosin was for the post-hardcore screamo, whatever you want to call it, scene. I mean, these guys. I mean, how many people have ripped off Unholy Confessions?
Yeah.
how many? Everybody still does.
So Avenged Sevenfold was not like the first band to do harmonized guitars. Like, like I you think like Iron Maiden, you think of, like, those older classic bands used to do it all the time. And, but this, like I said, that whole like Californian vibe to it made it feel modern and not like boomery, and that's what I just love this album. And as far as its like influence upon a young Adam Ford and his guitar journey, this was one of them. And I tried to learn some of these songs way before I was anywhere close to being able to play them. Yeah. And so, but like to get it almost kind of sounding like the song was like a huge win for me.
Oh, absolutely. There's still stuff like, I mean, obviously the solos, like I can't solo worth of, anything, but.
Right.
Man, I mean, some of these riffs are still like super difficult.
Yeah.
Like from being 20 plus years,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, it's a well-written album. And I don't know how old they were when this album came out, but they had to have been like early 20s.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
But I mean, like, if you think, like, okay, what age did what age did Sinister Gate start playing guitar? 2?
Yeah, right.
Like, I've been playing for almost, I don't even know, like 20 years.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years. And I can't hold a candle to him. So if he was like 20, he had to be like -1 when he started playing.
Yeah. He's a beast. Zachy too, man. Like, I mean, not many people give him enough credit, man. But and the fact, I mean, it's just the perfect, stage image with him being a lefty too.
Yep.
And them doing like the back-to-back harmonies. It's so awesome.
It's cool. Yeah, they get that really nice V shape on stage, and you can either do the back-to-back, which looks kind of cool, but I mean, only so many bands can do the V thing. It's got to be really hard if like one of them writes a lick and tries to show it to the other one, because I always had a hard time. Well, I was a guitar teacher for a while, and I always had a particularly hard time like teaching left-handed students, and not because they were doing it, was just having to like go one extra step. Like, yeah, it's like a mirror image to what I'm playing, but it's still, I had to like think, I had to do some 4D chess to like do it quickly. And I often would look at it and be like, oh, this is wrong. No, wait, that is the right fret. It's just, to me, where you're at, like, I don't know. It's tricky. So I imagine with these songs, with how hard they are, come on, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be a terrible band practice.
Yeah.
It's got to be boring for everyone else, at least.
I know, right?
So, Justin, the group...
I don't know, man. They got it down, though.
They got it down. They do. So, Justin, the group released their second studio album titled Waking the Fallen on Hopeless Records in August 2003. The album featured a more refined and mature sound production in comparison to their previous albums. The band received profiles in Billboard and the Boston Globe, and they played on like Warped Tours and Take Action tours. So they were part of that Warped Tour kind of like scene.
Dude, speaking of, I saw them, I think it was 2005 or 6 in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember, like, so, there are 2 big stages, right? And then once one band's done, the other one goes on.
Yeah.
So I forget who we were watching on one, and then I knew they were going to be next, so we went to the next stage. And, dude, it had been just a sunny day, hot as shit, but I just remember seeing this big black cloud come over the stage right before they started. And it was epic.
That sounds
so
awesome.
Sweet.
Way to set, like, just like the heavens were like, let us give this ultimate set piece to this like darkness band, and like, make it super. Yeah, dude. I can totally dig that. I never went to a Warped Tour because it always sounded so miserable.
I mean, it's cheap. It was fine. I mean, It was a good time, but yeah,
Yeah,
they
I don't
ain't do
know.
that no more.
I don't know if a festival's in my wheelhouse ever. I'm just not. I've never been that guy.
Not anymore.
If the temperature is above 70, I don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
That's just I'm woolly by nature, so it's like it's too hot.
You gotta hibernate.
Gotta hibernate. Well, Justin, I got a little quote here. Waken the Fallen was probably my favorite album to write because there was just no thought or care in the world, Gates said during the band's 2004 Waken the Fallen Resurrected documentary. It just allowed for this breeding ground of creativity from us that was uninhibited. And I love to think about that, you know? Like they were just doing what they were doing. And I've said this last time, is like when a band just does what it wants, they just make better music, you know?
Yeah.
A little bit more. We wanted to take it in a different level rather than to keep it in the garage. Remembered Vengeance. We really tried to make the album sound good. We tried to learn how to play our instruments better. We wanted to be professional. We learned that bands learn how to play in time and how to sing in key, and we had to work our ass off. And boy, does that pay off, dude. You know, and I think what's crazy to me is this was written in M. Shadow's parents' garage. This is your garage band that did it.
Yep.
You know? I think that is just so crazy. Like you know, that day is over, man. The corporations won. You know, if you're gonna play music, just go ahead and, you know, give your soul away, because the whole you and a couple buddies getting together and being the next American rock band, that's just never gonna happen again.
It's hard, man. But
yeah,
isn't if I recall from the documentary, didn't they say that the Rev played everything in like one take?
Yeah, he did something ridiculous. I don't remember if it was this one or City of Evil.
I think it was this one.
Oh, dude, it's the fact that they were so young, and like you can tell that they put the time into it, the effort into it, because this is a virtuosic album. It is so good, and I'm gushing about it because I was super excited to talk about this one. This is without a doubt, like I said, one of my favorite albums, probably of all time. I could throw this on anytime, any place, and I'm gonna have a good time.
Oh, 100%.
The reception on this album is pretty much universally, it's great. So it makes, this is going to be a really hard one to rank because they all can't be number ones, but I honestly would put most of them, not all of them, but most of these as a number one pick because
it's a 10 out of 10 album.
It's a 10 out of 10 album. This will forever be like I've listened to City of Evil, and it just doesn't hit me in the same way as this one does. Like there's a time and a place. I can picture the bedroom, my bedroom in high school where I was sitting listening to this with like the CD, like pamphlet. What do they call those?
Yeah,
booklets.
Booklet.
Yeah, and trying to read the lyrics, but it was written in a font that is impossible to read because Edge, you know?
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, I gotta learn, you know? What?
I think if old M. Shadows would have kept, you know, the same like way he sung this record with City of Evil, it would have just, I don't know, blew it out. But I don't know. He definitely changed, like just got real nasally and just I don't know. You know what I mean?
They lost like the hardcore-y edge. And I want to say
I don't think there's been much screaming in that. If any, dude, it's been a while.
So he had vocal surgery.
Oh, okay.
Between the albums.
I'm a dick now.
Yeah, okay. Dude. Yeah. In fact, I actually have M. Shadows right here. He's offended. No, from what I remember, because this was also probably like the first band that like made me buy Guitar Player magazine. Because of Sinister Gates and Zachy Vengeance on the cover, like the two, in my opinion, the best guitar players in the world. Of course, I'm getting that. I would buy guitar magazines because of them. I remember seeing like the Rolling Stones magazine with them on it, and I was just like, And no one else that I grew, because we're in the South, and I went to like a school full of country bumps who they like country music, and I had two people I could talk to about this record. So like for me, nobody else in the world knew about this, And so when I saw them on magazines, you mean to tell me they're that important? They're on the printed page, Justin.
I don't know how you were able to just carry on by yourself with this record. No one else has heard it. It was around you.
It was lonely. I had a very lonely high school experience. No, I had plenty of friends. It was just, at least like by the time like I was really into this, like I think the actual hardcore movement like was really big. So like this wasn't heavy enough for certain people. And it's a heavy record, but it wasn't like Norma Jean or like As I Lay Dying or like some of those like bands that are just, it was just like.
Which I mean, they've said before that they were still on those type of shows, and there's elements of all of that in the music. So
there totally is. But look who's still around. Who's
They're
still
on top,
who's still making waves, The band that could do a little of it all. Anyway, Justin. Justin, you ready to dive into Wake in the Fall?
I'm not ready.
No?
I mean, I'm ready, but I mean, this was a difficult one.
This is going to be
I say that about I was going to say all of them, but it's been 2 that we've done so far.
Right. Man, buckle up. This is going to be a ride. Well, Justin, let's
do it.
Let's go on. Let's get started with the title track / first track of the song, Waking the Fall.
I mean, it's epic.
Dude, I'm so hyped.
Yeah.
Man,
it's happening.
Dude, that is such a cool build up. And it just keeps
simple rhythm, just
yeah. And it just keeps going. June, June. And they like change it up, like instruments drop out, instruments come in, like even the rev like doom.
Yeah, really highlighting that rhythm.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's so much smart writing. And dude, for just an introduction to a song, pay attention, bands. If you're going to make like an introduction song, this is how you do it. There's vocals, there's everyone's playing instruments. Dude, like I can imagine being like this is what's playing as the band's coming out on stage, and it's just building and just, dude, and honestly, it really does push me and leads me towards the next song of the album. And it feels natural. And then like right at the very end, that no one can touch us. And then right to the next song. Oh.
Yeah, it was great.
This is probably one of the few intro songs to an album I just don't skip.
Yeah. I mean, am I like going to like, hey, check this song out. Is this the song I'm going to pick? Probably not. But if it's on, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great.
It could like in a smart way. It leads so well into the next song that it could just have been one song where they just kind of made it one. And smartly they just said, this is the first track. If you want to get on to the next one, go for it. But you're gonna want to listen to this. And I honestly I like all the little like this sets the stage of almost like a horror movie. Like this is like the B-roll in a horror movie where you're seeing like the haunted house and you see the fog, and like this whole album is at nighttime in my mind. Like there's no daytime song. This is just go ahead, don't listen to this when the sun's still up, right?
Yeah.
So like when I think of like this album, like this is the haunted house. You don't even know who the main character is yet. You're just getting creeped out by like spooky trees and like a house and like a crescent moon of some sort. I don't know. That's how I envision it. Justin,
yep.
I really like this intro. I think it's a solid intro. However, because we're ranking all the songs on this album, it's not terribly high up there because there is so much bangers on this album. I actually ranked this at number 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, I know.
Wouldn't have guessed it. Wouldn't have guessed it.
I think as far as like, so on our last two albums, or at least the last album that we did and the Ring and Return, and I was like, this is just nothing. Or, Ring and Return was kind of just like nothing to me. This song is something. And
it is.
The fact that like, I think it does such a beautiful job of setting the stage to me makes me feel like it's valuable and it's worth it. And I do listen to it. I'm not by itself, but I'm going to listen to it. Ring and Return, I would just skip.
Fair enough.
And I think what it's supposed to do, it does so super duper well that it's not the worst thing on the album to me. And I hate to say that because it beat out two songs that are actually like fully fleshed out 5-minute songs. So that's how much I think that this gets me amped for this whole record. If I need to be put in the mood, put this on, Yeah.
That's fair. And I get that. I probably spoiled it for myself as it earlier on when I'm just like, am I picking this song to show somebody? Probably not.
That's fair.
It still kind of fell into the intro to an album for me. It's at number 12, but it's still a great intro for me. I mean, for the record.
Totally, man. Dude, that's totally fine. I honestly, the reason I like this one more, I've heard it more than a couple of the songs on here. And, I think if you're going to make an introduction to an album, this is definitely one of the ways that you would do it and do it well. I was listening to the newest August Burns Red album, and that first little like introduction thing is a song, and I value that so much more than so many of the other ways that bands like do an introduction song to an album, that like I feel like it has merit. And I wanted to show that I think these short little songs can still be well written, well thought out, and serve a purpose. And that purpose was getting me ready for the next song. And it does so extremely well. But number 12, dude, I get it. I don't even know how long it is. Yeah. It's probably like a minute and a half?
If that, man. Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah. But dude, that's totally fine. This was my number 10. This was your number 12, Justin. Are you ready?
Yep.
To move on.
For the one.
For the one.
For the one.
Not maybe one of our number ones, but this
Do you think you know what my number one is?
I think so.
I think I got yours. We'll find out. But
you're gonna be surprised, dude.
Really?
I think so. I think this is gonna be a huge upset in the Rankin game. I think if you thought you knew me, think again, bucko. Let's take a listen to the iconic, the one and only Unholy Confessions.
Rev boy.
Man, that like
that's iconic by itself.
Yeah,
just that.
Okay, there's the challenge, drummers. Can you make like a what is it? 8 notes? 8 notes?
Yeah. 8 notes well, yeah.
Do it better. You can't. You've been defeated, drummers.
So perfectly like executed for that section.
Absolutely.
Just to get into the
so smart, so simple. Justin, this has got to be one of the greatest first actual songs on an album. To not be an introduction, but like to be the actual songs on an album. dude, iconic guitar riff. Of course, I learned this riff, and this one is it's actually
Everybody's learned this riff.
yeah, it's easy enough that even if you've only been playing for like a little while, you can totally play it. You know, I think this is it's the most iconic song that they have. If you said the words Avenged Sevenfold to me, I'm thinking of that. That is the first thought that comes to my mind.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet this is probably the only one they still play live from this record. I mean, maybe like Chapter 4, Eternal Rest, maybe, but
I was gonna say
like,
I remember I read an article where they brought Chapter 4 back.
yeah.
But I still think for the discography that they have, the fact that they're still playing any of the songs off this record is just super duper impressive. And like, I mean, dude, like you've had fans for over 20 years that know these songs, like know them. Like it's you're always gonna, you know, pay homage to them by playing one of the songs that they grew up with. I grew up with. I would go honestly if they put on a show that was just this album front to back, I would go. I would love to go and see that.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, I've only seen them the one time, and you know, a few years after this album came out. So I mean,
You probably
it'd be
got.
crazy
I mean,
to see them now.
all of these. Yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah,
You like all the
Density of Evil.
all the best songs off this one.
Yeah, it was a good time.
So Justin, in a quote, they talk about Unholy Confessions, and I forget which one was saying this, but I remember at the beginning of Unholy Confessions, he was all screaming, and one time he was like kind of messing around, singing the melody instead of screaming, and we were like, dude, you have to sing that. And so he did, and it was incredible, you know? And then we were like, okay, all right, we're allowed to sing. If you have a good voice, you don't have to scream just to scream. So I guess that was one of the guitar players. So it's crazy to me to think that this song didn't have singing on it at one point. Let's take a listen to the chorus to kind of get an idea of like M Shadow's like singing. And this song does have like the back and forth where he'll scream a part and then he'll sing a part. So let's take a listen to the.
Blood is bare. It's so good.
I don't know. Dude, I
mean, even the harmonies are really cool. They're not like your typical, like, just third moving harmonies, but
yeah, I love his voice.
It's so good on this record.
It's a good voice, you know? Like, I've around this time, I think, like, so many of the singers out there were trying to go for, like, a really high-pitched kind of sound, and he doesn't do that. He just sticks with, like, his baritone, like, he can sing higher than I can, obviously, but, like, he just sticks with
it. Up there.
Yeah, but he actually, like, dude, I'm glad he decided to sing because a lot of the singing parts, like, there's, like, really tough guitar riffs on here that I really like. Like, when I say tough, I don't mean, like, tricky to play. I mean, like, I feel like kicking in a door.
Hell yeah, brother.
Just shooting a whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, mean mugging rabble rousers because it's tough, you know? Like, there's a couple, like, guitar riffs that are like that to me. And then you have these, like, really very nice melodic singing parts, which I think even, like, they said in that Drumeo interview or, like, documentary that we watched that the Rev actually wrote and helped write some of these, like, melodies and choruses and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, how talented of a guy. If there's one thing, you're not going to hear us say a bad thing about the Rev.
Absolutely not.
Between just like a songwriting genius, a musician virtuoso, and then just seemed to be like a really fun dude to be around. Like, rest in peace, my dude. Like, your legacy stands, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, Justin, let's, before we get to your clip, I do want to showcase, like, what I was saying earlier, like, dude, this band gets heavy. I do want to show like one of their like kind of breakdowny parts. And it's not your breakdowny part, because there are a couple. Like if you dig breakdowns, you're gonna like this band. If you like any kind of chugs and squeals, you're in the right place. You found home.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a listen. So good. They do that a lot, where like the vocals and the guitar sync up on rhythms, and I've always enjoyed when that kind of like when the whole band hits like a rhythm in unison with each other, you know. Oh, dude,
that's great.
Yeah,
super cool.
Speaking of, let's take a listen to your clip.
Oh, dude, I think I picked the very end, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. Dude, just his like kick patterns that he's doing over top. Oh, you'll see. It's more rev shit.
Yeah, it's more revy, and also I mean like the guitars. I was listening to it earlier, and the guitars sound like tripled. It doesn't sound like just doubled.
Yeah,
like you can hear definitely like multiple, like because you have the chug guitar. And then you have like obviously two distinct guitars doing the so and they get kind of bluesy with their riffs.
It's that little chromatic bluesy going on.
Yeah, it's so good. Let's listen.
Such a random drum pattern to put right there. But yeah, it's just like he's like, whatever, I'm gonna do it.
No,
but it works.
That's who he does. But none of his stuff ever really sounded like out of place or excessive.
No,
I mean excessive, but in like the right kind of excessive. Like
it works.
Did he just do that?
Mm-hmm.
That dude can. Man. That dude's a good drummer. You know, Justin, where does Unholy Confessions rank for you?
Well, I mean, there's no denying that it's, just iconic, like super iconic, right? And it's I don't know, man. It's a great song. It still kind of falls into that. Obviously, I've heard it way too many times, but I still like, I'm not going to be upset if someone turns it on.
Right.
But I just figured the best spot for me was just throwing it right in the middle of the record, which is number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's okay, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I've got it. I got it ranked at number 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got it ranked at number 4.
Dude, I thought you had, spoiler, well, not really, but I thought you had told me a few weeks back that people were going to be upset. Were you just at 4 though? I mean, 4 is good. That's top 5.
It's top, yeah, dude. I like this song more than others, at least 8 others.
Yeah.
But man, it's the most iconic. Yes. Is it a great song? Yes. Is it probably the golden standard of what all Avenged Sevenfold songs wish they could be? Yes.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, though.
I don't know, man. I still try to find the hidden gems on these records.
There are just
so many of them.
So many good songs and so many like things that like, I mean, just like you're just in, if you think this is the best song and it's the only one you've heard of, you're in for a treat, because there are some just fantastic songs on this record. I just don't think this is the best one. It's not, even when I was growing up, this wasn't my most favorite. Despite it being like the most recognizable, it wasn't my most favorite.
I'm probably skipping it if I'm listening to this record. Like, I don't, because I've just heard it for, probably the first song I ever heard by them, to be honest.
And it's a great first one.
And yeah,
if you're not hooked by it after that first listen, like, I don't know if any of their other songs are going to do it.
Right.
Like if this one doesn't do it, none of the other ones are going to do it. And but it's not their best. It's just the most popular one, you know? Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's my favorite. And I agree with you 100%. It's been overplayed.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you know, if I was a guitar teacher, I would probably show, this would be the riff I would show some kids, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. This was like,
this is the one.
The first song I would show a lot of kids when they asked me, what is drop D tuning?
Boom. There it is.
Because it plays so well if you never played in drop D before. Like, it's a super easy riff, and it makes you feel good to play it. Like, it feels good on the hands. There's like one little tricky part within the fit, like the main riff that like involves you having to hit a chord and then move right back to the. I'm not teaching a guitar lesson right now. Anyway.
Yeah.
It is, dude. It's
top 10 drop D riffs for sure.
Yeah, for sure. If you don't understand what drop D is after this song, then you need to get out. But Justin, this was my number 4. It was your number 6. I honestly thought you would. I thought you would. I would kind of sync up. Like, it's definitely on the upper half, but you put it square in the middle, and that's okay.
Yeah. After I went through them all, I was just like, you know what? I'm happy with it right here.
I'm kind of eager.
Not quite in the top 5, but just under it.
Yeah, I'm kind of eager to see what beats this one, because I think you and I are gonna fight.
Let's go,
because I just don't see it. I don't see what.
Right.
I know it could be higher than this, but I just don't know what you think is actually better than this. Anywho, let's move on. Let's go on to the next one, which is Chapter 4.
Again with the riff.
Love it. Dude.
It's insane.
Insane. I almost want to play that clip again, but you can just rewind the track, you know? You can go back and...
Yeah.
That whole, like... I hope they had, like, a fire extinguisher. When that man lit a flame doing it. Like, friction is a thing. You can have friction in the air, Justin. Your arms shouldn't move that fast, man. So good, dude.
So clean. Because I don't think they did click tracks on these, if I'm not mistaken. Probably not, but
I'd be surprised if they didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
that technology existed.
It did, yeah.
I don't know,
but
I mean,
either way,
if he
matter.
did record all this in like one take, he probably was like, "I'll use it, but I'm not playing to it." You could put it in my headphones. I'll make sure I know where the one is, but I'm not. All the other beats are gonna be mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
So, dude,
oh man,
I really like this song as well. And I went all over the place with my ranks on this one, just because at first I was like, this surely can't be as high as I want it to be in my heart. And then it ended up being higher than I wanted. But we're not talking about the rank right now. But it's so crazy, like, how many cool parts there are to this song. You know?
Yeah, dude.
I mean, so Chapter 4 is based off of Genesis 4. You knew this, right?
I don't think so. I'm not a lyrics person.
You're not a lyrics person. So I think this is like a song I gravitated to like early on because I grew up in a Christian like family and household. And you know, like this was probably one of the first songs that like, okay, Chapter 4, and then there's story beats here that I feel like I recognize. And you know, the story in Chapter 4 of Genesis is the Cain and Abel story. Do you know that you've heard of Cain and Abel?
Yes.
So I bring this up for two reasons, right? So the whole song is about and I actually think vocally, like lyrically, this song is probably one of the better ones because I know the story that he's basing it off of, and I think he's actually done really smart lyric writing with it. It's on the nose. It's definitely like, this is what I'm pulling from, but he masks it in a way that's like, in my opinion, still kind of creative. So Adam and Eve have two sons, Cain and Abel. Cain is a farmer, Abel is a shepherd, Abel is loved by God. Cain is shunned by God. And then Cain, out of jealousy, kills Abel. And then Cain gets banished by God. Right? And
I close my brother's eyes.
I close my brother's eyes tonight. Right? Yeah. And I bring that up because Avenged Sevenfold represents a specific niche of band names, which are biblical references. In the book of Genesis, Cain, the first man and first murderer, is given a mark called, you guessed it, the mark of Cain. Cool. God proclaims that if Cain is harmed, he shall be avenged 7 times.
Where's the connection? Okay.
That's their band name.
Oh.
They're avenged 7 times, sevenfold. They're Avenged Sevenfold. So I think this is kind of like a cool homage to where they got their band name. Anyway.
Interesting.
Back to the song. So I really like, so that intro is like really, really cool and stuff. And then you get, like, in my opinion, probably the most classic example of the Californian style guitars. Okay, let's take a listen. You know what I'm saying?
When in doubt, man, just put a third on it, you know?
Yeah.
When in doubt.
Dude, like that is California wrapped up in like a guitar note, you know?
Yeah.
And it takes me back to, like I was telling you earlier or last time, it feels like it was just yesterday. That, you know, I really like that Superman, or not Superman, the Goldfinger album that has Superman, and it's all that same kind of like third harmonies, like very ska sounding. It's like ska, but it's metal.
Yeah.
And you've got those like thirds that just, I don't know, dude, it just super duper works for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, and I just
they do it a lot on this record.
They do it a lot, and I never get tired of it.
No,
I never get tired of it. Justin, let's take a listen to the chorus of chapter 4. Again, he's back with that singing, and I mean, like, now that I've kind of told you what the song's about, now all the lyrics just feel so much more on the nose. Like, I close my brother's eyes tonight.
Oh, just so metal.
Yeah, dude, it's super metal. Like, and again, like, I always, when I was growing up, I felt this was like extra evil, because here's this band that's singing about murder, but it's Christian. And
he used like the perfect like, I guess, timbre, like on his voice for this chorus, because he's got like the basic scream that he has, and then sometimes when he's like really high, like he's, it's nice and pretty or whatever, and then this is just like like, it's like a mix of both.
Absolutely. Like
it's perfect for the chorus.
Like he's yelling like especially like, I'm coming to kill you. Like, you hear like an anger, like an aggression in his voice, and he does such a good job. Like, I mean, he always kind of sounds aggressive in it.
Yeah.
But it's not that, like, he's not putting on the fake, like, oh, I'm coming to kill you. It's like, he's genuinely like, I'm jealous and I'm coming after you. I'm coming to kill you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fantastic lyric. Fantastic vocalist.
Yes.
Absolutely. He knows how to make, like, I don't know, like, manipulate his voice for what he's trying to do. Even his scream can be different in other ways. Like, sometimes he gets like this like deep guttural. Sometimes he's got that really high pitch, like, very talented.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't hear him brought up more often when they talk about like metal vocalists.
Yeah, man, not really.
Not as much as he should.
Not enough. Yeah.
Or maybe his day is like past. Maybe like other people have come out and are taking.
He still got it.
He still got it.
Still got it.
Right on.
It's been a while. I mean, the new record is kind of whatever, but
I listen to like
go into that right now.
I hate that. I only listened to like the first song, and I was like, I'm going back to Wake in the Fallen.
Yeah. is night and day.
It is night and day. But I mean, I think I just need to give it some more time.
Yeah.
They definitely tried to put
we
on
might maybe one day we'll get to that, but
in about 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's take a listen to your clip.
Solo.
The solo.
Oh, kinda. I mean, I guess it's a solo, but it's more of a riff too. I don't know.
That's the beauty. I think so it'd be like just the lead, like a lead part.
Yeah, because he repeats it.
Right. But the leads are like just as good. Like you get slamming riffs and then you get some just cool lead guitar work that just, yeah.
I think this is kind of the first solo on the record, right? I don't think they really had one in Unholy. I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I think this is it.
Let's take a listen.
Where has he gone? What have you done? A voice commands from high above this earth.
Just so tasteful, man. Like hitting those like those vibratos like right in between the rhythms is just, oh man, it's so good.
Dude, it's one of those like guitar parts that like, so he like he puts it all on his like neck pickup, which like mellows it out. It's not like a screaming kind of, I wouldn't call that a solo. It's
That's what I mean.
feature.
It's like he repeats it. Yeah,
It's more like a feature or a lead, but it's like more than just a lead part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we'll get to some solos.
Oh, dude,
some real solos.
Yeah, if because of his other solos being so good, this one I just think is just like a really good like guitar featurette. And for like, if you have someone as strong in your band as Sinister Gates, you're gonna put him up front as best you can. You know, absolutely fantastic guitar player. Justin, let's take a listen to the outro of the song, because I always really like this part, because one of the big things that I really like is how they get kind of like orchestral with it, and like they have like the church chimes going on. Like it makes me think of Futurama, but like if you know that sound, that Futurama intro, you know this sound, and it just makes this so epic. They do kind of like a cut time, like, you know, this whole song is that like, you know, it's like that really up tempo, and then they just like break it down at this very end. Let's just listen to it. Yeah, it's so epic, and they do such a good job with their songwriting, where they can combine like these like really nice punk rocky vibes, the California vibe, and then boom, they're gonna hit you with like this like really pretty orchestral part, or like orchestra like influenced, and like the church chimes and all that kind of stuff. And it's just dude, I cannot get over how smart they were with this writing and recording, because that's all in production. They obviously don't have all that stuff on stage live.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they might now.
They might. Well, now they got the budget.
They can afford. Yeah.
They can afford it. We looked
I
up.
agree. I mean, it's.
We looked up how much they're worth.
Yeah. Chump change.
How many orchestras?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Epic ending. Great song.
Epic ending. Great song.
Not much more to say.
Not much more to say, except for our ranks, Justin.
Yeah.
Where
you at?
Where am I at? This is a straight 3-piece for me.
Okay.
This is a
Kept
number 3.
On.
This was not number 3 before this afternoon.
Really?
It was not. I actually had this lower, and then as I was listening to it, I was like, I had to have like a come to Jesus moment. And I was like, honestly, dude, what do you like more than this song? And I was like, at least these other 2 songs. But I just had to go with my heart. I do think that this track always stood out to me. And it's good, it's catchy, it's got the California guitars. I'm in.
You like the catchies.
I do like the catchies. I'm basic, Justin.
We're almost on the same wavelength on this one.
Okay.
I think I did shift this one around a bit as well, but just because it's got number 4 in the title.
Oh no.
I feel like it was number 3 at one point earlier this week, but I moved it to number 4.
Moved it to number 4. Dude, that's totally fine. I want to say I had this one even lower than 4.
Yeah.
This was I tried to not like it as much, but I do like it.
You can't do that.
I do like it. I think it's a really strong, solid piece of like songwriting. I like the production on it. I'm sticking with my guns on this one. I have to. It's official. I recorded it. It is my number 3.
Yeah.
You feel good?
Yeah, I think this pretty much stayed in the top 5 for me, and I just kind of shifted it a little bit here and there, but it's up there. It's a great song.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely one of the top songs on the album. That's for sure.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. You ready to move on to Remenissions? Remenissions.
Hey, man, can you just go ham for every intro we have on this record? Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, if you're not sure what to do, just follow your heart, and his heart says, dude, it's. You think you'd get tired, like.
I mean, yeah.
Fellas,
He ain't stopping.
Yeah, we can't do this for every song, surely. Guess what? We absolutely can.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I
mean, I love it. They keep the pace going for the first few songs on this record. They just don't let up.
Dude, I it's funny you say that, because I truly do appreciate that idea of like keeping pace in a record, like knowing like ramp up, get there, and then know when like how to dip. Like when I know this is gonna sound stupid, but like an album is so much more than just the individual songs that you put on it, but it's also knowing like song order seems important.
Yeah, the flow is very important for albums, to me at least.
Yeah, like case in point. Dude, I don't even know if I should say this, because I know we'll eventually do this album one day. There is a well-known band
with a
well-known album of probably their best that hits like this slump in the middle of it. And it's like
there's a few.
Yeah,
that's hard to.
It's like 3 like up tempo songs, and then like 4 just down tempo songs, and it's just like
if you're a band that's like going at it for like 6 songs, and then the last songs are acoustic, you should just not.
Yeah, just don't.
You know who you are.
I just think like pacing. Make it make sense somewhat, because if you're not a musician, there's something known as ear fatigue, where like after a while, like your ears will just tire of just sound, and like it's smart to put songs logically in a way that like doesn't make your listener exhausted. Which is weird for like metal bands, because I know like metal albums are like, how brutal can we be? Like,
yeah.
And even like this song in and of itself, I think is the first time you hear like them chill out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's take a listen to like the chill out version of their chorus, which features a little classical guitar played by Sinister Gate's father.
I mean, I've always wanted to learn that. Still haven't, but
yeah, dude. I think that was such a smart thing for them to do.
Yeah.
Like, because, okay, chapter 4, this big epic song, right? Unholy Confessions, big epic song. This song starts off epic. It's got your California guitars, and then to chill out for this chorus, but still keep the energy. Dude, that is so hard to do, to chill and keep energy. It doesn't make sense.
It's definitely what makes it a standout song.
Yeah.
Having it that early, like what just happened.
and it's
'Cause
beautiful.
It is pretty, yeah. It comes out of nowhere, and it's great.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It's like the like you're going, you needed that second to catch your breath, and this is such a good catch your breath moment, because right after that, what do? Is they come back, like they get rid of the classical guitar, and then they do just kind of like a really simple chug, and not like a ridiculous chug, like just a straight like. And but like even with M Shadows just like singing on top of it, he doesn't even almost change his like inflection. So even though the band gets heavier, the part doesn't sound heavier. It just gets more movement, I guess. And then, Justin,
yeah, for sure.
you have this. Is like a Rev featurette, and it just to move on with the song, and it is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Wait, did I pick that?
No, I picked that.
Okay, I was about to say, like, wait. Yes, but that is amazing.
It's like 5 seconds of.
We don't know how to get out of this section, so Rev, I'm gonna need you to take over real quick.
And he said, I got you.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, when all else fails, man, he's got you.
He's got you. And it works. Like I think you can go online and see like him do like a drum solo during their live performance, or one of their like live like DVD to DVD kind of things. And definitely go check it out, because if you dig this kind of drumming, you're in for a treat. But the fact that like they just like, okay, we're everyone cut out, just let the rest. I don't even know if they had something written there, and they were just like, get rid of the guitars. Just let this fly.
Yeah. It's so clean, so sick.
Yeah. And then for them to have like that really pretty chorusy part, they do get a little heavy. Let's take a listen to a little heavy section to this song.
That little change.
Yeah, when they
little change.
Oh, dude, I hate counting.
Sexy time.
Yeah, it gets me every time, and dude, just little bits like that. Smart writing. Smart writing. And then Justin, you got the honor to pick probably my favorite part of the song, and
That's the best part.
And I'll let you have it, because I'm not selfish, even though I got to pick 4 clips and you only got to pick 1, but you took the best one, which
bringing
is
back the best use of those thirds.
This, if I wasn't a big fan of like harmonized guitars until this part, this if you're not a fan of it, you will now. Just let's take a listen. What more do you need?
No, nothing.
This is such a cool song. From beginning to end, it's diverse. It's got so many different parts to it. It's just a fantastic tune.
Completely agree.
So, Justin, where does this one sit on your ranking?
Oh man, it's got a little bit of everything in this one. With between the classical and obviously that section is fantastic, and just all around. I mean, it jumps around so many different kind of sections, but it all works.
Right.
They're prog E band, and it's still up there for me, man. It's at number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah, dude.
Goodness, I did not call that.
No.
I mean,
do you think that was number 1?
I thought it was going to be your number 1.
Really? It was almost.
I thought
obviously.
The little, I thought that part was just enough to send it. I mean, there's so many.
It almost was, man. I was torn between these two.
Yeah. I get it, because you're going to hate my rank.
What, 12?
No, of course not.
Yeah.
No. This was my number 5.
Oh.
Man. And if
that's a complete disservice to that section.
I feel bad about it, but not really. But like if you look, and this is something that I feel, this album gets a little, at least for me, is almost a little front heavy, because if you look at my last three ranks, it's the 4, 3, 5. Like these are all like in the top 5 songs. Like it's just hit after hit, banger after banger, right after each other. The beginning of this album is so good.
Yeah. Perfect like 4 song introduction.
Yeah. And again, dear listeners, these are all my number ones. They're just, I had to put them in different places that weren't number one.
For content.
Yeah. So, it was very hard. I do think there's a couple songs on here that I do like a little bit more. I had to put it somewhere, and I knew it was definitely in the upper half. It's in the top 5. I think this one also changed rank a couple times for me.
Yeah.
But there were just some things about some of the other songs that maybe now that I'm older, made this one move down, because I ended up liking some of the other songs a little bit better.
That's fair.
Does that make sense? So Justin,
yeah,
this was your number 2. This was my number 5. Let's move on to Desecrate Through Reverence. I had to say that slow because all these songs, they have all these hard words in there. Desecrate Through Reverence.
That part is not easy.
I believe it. I believe that
That's
part's
the section
not
I
easy.
chose for that 1 minute video I did.
Oh,
I was like, why did I choose that section?
that section? Yeah. Just that. Like, because the part
Yeah,
before
that
that is boring
Oh yeah,
and easy.
definitely not that part.
And I hate to start this off with such a negative word, but I do think this is like everything up till now has been like super strong beginning, and this is like the first like beginning bit to one of the songs, and I'm like,
not great.
It's a little on the boring side.
But then that riff is sweet.
That riff is sweet.
It starts to pick up after that intro. They kind of half-assed the intro a little bit, maybe, but
Yeah, it is a little, and then I think they kind of go into more like California,
naturally,
kind of like harmonized guitars. I made it a thing to not just keep picking the harmonized guitar parts, because it's every song. You're gonna hear it, but I did pick the verse part because this is like one of the first like iterations of the quote unquote tough riff. Like it's just like you just want to look at somebody and just give them some stank face. That
it's a stank. It's one of the it's definitely a stank face riff.
Justin, get your stank face on. Let's listen.
Please tell me you got. Okay, I do have a note. This has the best squeal of the record. Did you freeze up?
I know. I'm mentally freezed. I know which squeal you're talking about, and I didn't get it.
All right, well, you're gonna find it and add it in, and just do a picture. This is the squeal.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, man.
So I was going for brevity on these clips this time, and I failed to get the most important note of the song, Justin.
Oh, it is the best.
Yeah.
The harmony they chose for it. Oh,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, let's take a listen. What an epic squeal. Okay.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to put it in there twice.
I'm gonna put it all over the place. Every time
Just
you
throw
say,
it in there every now and then.
yeah, every time you say a naughty word, I'm just gonna have that squeal.
That's the yeah. It's so nasty.
Yeah, dude. But that verse part, just like I said, it just makes me feel tough. You know.
Yeah,
And it's
face
like
all around.
that's where the pit is. Just that's where all the like the bald dudes get into the pit. You know. They wear
riff.
sleeveless T-shirts with like
Uh-huh.
the sleeve holes go all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're sweaty and
Pantera AF.
what?
Pantera AF.
Yeah, dude. But I like it. It's fun. It's a fun little verse part. I'll get that squeal. Don't you worry.
Yep.
All right. Let's take a listen to the chorus now, Justin. I think this is the first time. I don't think the chorus is all that strong.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's kind of forgettable. I mean, it's like it's melodic, but it's kind of just there.
Yeah, I mean that chorus is it's okay.
It's okay.
Not bad.
The scream's really cool on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like again, so this reminds me of like a 311 song.
Okay. I would not have put that together.
I know it sounds stupid. Maybe not like a 311. So 311's got that like California kind of sound anyway, but then you have like there's like off their 311 album, they're self-titled. There's a song that does almost that exact same, and it's just like I hear that part and I cannot disassociate that they're not just playing like a 311 riff. And I'm sure they came around like the same like area. Like this was recorded in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
And 311 sounds like a band that also recorded in Hollywood. I'd be really surprised if like they didn't at least have some influence on this band.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a band I've never listened to a whole record, that's for sure.
I have to be in the mood. I like the 311 self-titled. I think that one's pretty good. And I haven't really listened to any of their other ones, so I'm definitely not an expert. But maybe if we start Beardby Rankin oldies or something, and we'll go back to like a 90s kind of stuff. I don't think God, the 90s were oldies now, man. Like stuff I listened to in high school is on the classic rock station.
I know, right?
Yeah. Anyway, Justin, let's take a listen to your clip because I think we're at least both excited for like the outro to this song.
So good.
Yeah, it's a good outro. Prepare thine ears. Yeah, that's the part. That's the part that sounds like 311 to me. That like last little riff thing. But everything up to that is just like, and you're all dead too. Like, ugh.
I mean, and that's one of my favorite transitions on the record. Going from that to Eternal Rest is top notch.
Do you even consider it a transition?
It's not. It's just, it's perfect. Perfectly executed.
So we'll get into this a little bit with like Eternal Rest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess we don't have to wait. But when I was younger and that transition happened, I obviously, because you don't even know like a new song started.
It's seamless, yeah.
But it always made me dislike both of them because I was like, you can't start a song like that. You can't start Eternal Rest like that. Like, you didn't build anything. You just, you went from, you didn't even go 0 first. You just automatically at 60. You know? And then the way that this ended, like, I didn't know it switched to another song. So, like, I would just be like, they took a real right turn. Yeah. So, like, either way, I felt like I was just smacking a wall. Like, either, like, they decided to change real quick at the very end, or, like, this first song just hits out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I
love it.
you take it for what it is. But yeah, dude,
Yeah.
if you're gonna listen to this album, which I highly recommend you do, listeners, don't skip around. Just let the album play, because I want you to experience the same way I did, where like all these transitions do feel good, and like this is one of those that like I think they were just being jerks on purpose with it. But it is a really cool one. I like the epicness of that outro. Justin, where does this song sit for you in your ranks?
Yeah, I mean, yes, that ending is fantastic. It's epic. You're All Dead to Me. It's one of my favorite things to sing on a Monday when I'm going to work.
Yep.
You know? But
hello all our fellow work.
Yeah, hello. Love you.
Now, now you know.
Yeah. But aside of that, man, yeah, again, we've kind of touched. The chorus isn't too strong. Intro's kind of meh. It's there, but I put it at number 8.
Yes.
Are you 8?
Well, I did 8 too. Yes.
Nice.
We did it again. Yeah, dude, I don't know why. There's something about this album that it's like, it's not the worst song. It's like leading the pack in the worst songs, if that makes sense. Like
there you go. Yeah.
The intro, like you said, all this exact same talking points. The intro is, the chorus is, It's like the verse is tough sounding, which I like, but it's not enough. It's not enough to save it, especially when you have like Eternal Rest about to come up, and you just like it's. Let me put it this way: I forgot this song existed. I honestly, I thought it went from Remenissions to Eternal Rest.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like I forgot this song was on the album, and like of course, like listening to it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's here.
I just wait for the ending, man. Like it's kind of how I feel. Like the song starts like, oh yeah, there's this song, and then I'm like, oh, but wait, you got the squeal. Make sure you insert the squeal there.
The podcast is over. We've been squealing since you asked.
Yeah.
It's just on repeat. Yeah.
And then that ending hits. I'm like, once it's about to start, I'm just like, let's go. And then I know Eternal Rest is coming, and then it's like, all right, because you kind of hit that lull of this song, and then we're raising back up to Eternal Rest from the end of this, and it's just like,
right,
yeah, dude,
quite like this. That's how it feels, listeners.
Nice.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
So, this is Eternal Rest. Justin, I purposefully decided to do that on a whim. That's how abrupt that comes in.
Yeah.
And it's just out of nowhere. And I do like it. I used to think this was like too chaotic. And I would be like, oh, I don't know if I like that. He's ripping.
This is the first time he just lets loose, and I feel like he didn't write that. I feel like it was just like, press record, do something.
Right. Is it even in key?
It doesn't matter.
I don't think he's in key.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things that like the only way I could replicate that is if like I dropped my guitar. You know, like, and it's just like jumping all over the place. Like it hits like a couple frets, you know, it detunes and retunes. I don't know. Man. Like, dude, that's so good. And if like up until, I think you're right, up until this point, you're getting glimpses of how good of a guitar player he is. And then he cracked his knuckles and just said, hold my beer.
He just dragon forced us.
Yeah, dude, out of nowhere. And it's to just like, again, just kind of like, okay, like just how like the rev is like the drumming, like, how do we start this? Just rev, go. This is, they were like, yeah, Sinister Gates, go. And like, bam, hit you. Just you know, we had that song that we were trying to record, like, for Skyhammer. And Skyhammer was a project that Justin and I were in case you're like wondering.
Okay.
And
It's still on Bandcamp, by the way.
is it? Oh yeah, it's still on Bandcamp.
There you go.
Go check it out. Skyhammer Mortars. And well, one of the songs that we didn't release, I think I like decided to take a solo part in it. And this was my inspiration. Was just like, go for it. Wow,
yeah.
Just hitting it as hard and fast. It did not sound anywhere near as good.
Oh man.
But dude, this song is really cool. It's got like 2 parts to it. We've talked like 3 minutes on just that intro. But let's talk about the parts, man. So this thing has got like, it's got like this big bombastic beginning, and then out of nowhere they just like slow it down.
Yeah.
And I
this is
really like how they slow it down.
Yeah. This is about as southern as it gets.
Yeah, as southern for them. I think this is the clip that I got.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, let's take a listen.
Sorry, dude. Yeah, you can't. You there's no eternal rest without that, dude.
What a fun part.
Yeah.
I love it. I forgot how much I love this record.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, dude, there's just something about that, like, dude, the southern boy in me just grew 9 times that day.
Yeah.
First time I heard that. No, dude, there's like, that's such a cool, again, it's a tough part.
It's so cheesy, but it works.
I'm here for it, man. Sprinkle a little more on for me, please.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. And then you get to
Especially,
and then you get to like where the vocals come in, and that's, let's just take a listen to that. Dude, that straight up, when I was 14, 15, I think, when I first heard this. 14, 15 when I heard that, and I was like, this must be that Satan character I keep hearing about. Like that, I was genuinely like they got scary. Like, this doesn't even sound like a song. It sounds chanty, dark in their hearts. I can feel them burning. And I was just like, am I a part of a ritual right now? But dude, there's so much good here.
There is.
Let's
I don't know, man.
Let's take a listen to the chorus, and we can kind of talk about that, because so like this song, they change parts. Like, they change up like the mood, the vibe, like so many times. Like it's hard to think that like they actually made it work.
I know, man.
Like a lot of times when bands
works.
do this, it feels so chaotic and all over the place. And for some reason, somehow they just made these like individual parts seem to make sense. Let's take a listen.
I don't know the words.
Yeah, the lost mother, they're calling. He does get a little Scott Stappy, but the part that always gets me is the whisper in the background. Something, I don't know what that whisper's saying, but I swear, dude, and that and like the big church organ sound that comes in, and I will go on record in saying that I think the church organ is the worst instrument. I cannot stand like a pipe organ sound. I hate it. I was in a band where I was forced to play like like I played keyboards, and like I was forced to play like church organ song stuff, and I was like, this hurts my heart. I hate it.
Yeah.
In this it works, because I think what they're going for is atmosphere. This if the very intro to this album was like the setting up of the horror movie, they just introduced the main villain. Yeah. This is I think I always picture like bats and Dracula, which their like logo obviously makes you think of bats. So like in my mind, this is like that's just bats, Dracula, evil. This song just makes me think of evil.
It's evil. It'd be evil.
It'd be evil. Justin, let's listen to your part. Let's listen to your clip.
So I guess I just picked all the endings to the songs. It seems like.
God, dude, the endings are like they know how to finish a song.
Yeah.
So, okay, earlier in the song, you had the organ.
Yeah.
Here, you get the harpsichord sound.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that homage to, like, classical music in not just, like, almost like the Bach,
Renaissance.
Beethoven era,
Yeah.
like, actually having, like, harpsichord and, like, it just sets that mood of, like, Dracula's castle.
Yeah, it's
Did you
super
ever-
cool that they were, how experimental they were in this,
Yeah. Like
putting
you'd
those
hear
instruments
like
in.
symphonic stuff, like you'd hear like a string section come in, but you wouldn't hear like straight up like 14th century Bach music,
Yeah.
or like even some of like the chanty stuff that they get going on. They don't do like straight Gregorian chant, like don't get
Yeah.
bored, but I mean, like, dude, like throwing it back to, and I honestly, I was thinking about this earlier with how like influenced by certain things, because I really love like the minor key that they always play in that in the
Yeah.
music world, it's known as the harmonic minor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what gives like that like creepy kind of sound to a lot of chord progressions that like your classical music, you got that knowledge for free. But
Thank you.
I honestly feel like that is one of those things that like because of this album, I always gravitated to writing songs that had that kind of chord progression and sound to it.
Mhm.
And that's just a perfect example because it has that kind of older classical influences that they just bring into like this really cool modern rock setting.
Oh yeah,
That you-
definitely.
And you don't hear it. Like, I mean, of course bands still
Mhm.
play in the harmonic minor, but to like just literally slap you in the face and say, "Learn some Bach,"
Yeah.
like they just did that. It sounds like a
They
feud.
did it well.
Yeah.
They did it well. Yeah, man.
All
Great
right.
song. Where we
Great
at?
song.
Where
What-
are you sitting with it?
What am I sitting with it? Eternal Rest. Such a good song.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna hate me for this.
I don't know. 10.
It's a number 7.
Yeah.
It's my number 7. It's the guitar solo is great.
Mm.
The vibes
Yeah.
are good. That like whole rockin' thing, that verse, good.
Yeah.
I
mean,
is it as good as Remenissions? Not
no.
in my book.
No.
Is it as good as Chapter 4? Not in my book. It could be better than Unholy Confessions, but it didn't.
No,
That song's
I
too
don't-
iconic to not put where it is. I think this was the least offensive spot I could put it, but I would put it higher. I wish this was a 20-song album so that it would stay at number 7 and be like in the higher
In
spot,
top 10, yeah.
Like I just don't know how to put it anywhere else. But yeah, dude, it's my number 7. What about for you?
Same.
No, same. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. Wild.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
was-
dude. It's kind of the same feels, man. I mean, obviously better than Desecrate. And then just under Unholy Confessions, but it felt like the right place.
yes.
Number 7.
I will throw this out there. This song was it was the lowest song that I was unsure about where it should go. I honestly, from this
Kinda
song
the same,
and up
yeah.
in ranking, this could have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Like the top 7 songs all could just be interchangeable. Like there are parts of this I like more than Unholy Confessions. There are parts of this that I like more than, Remenissions in chapter 4. It's just so hard to like be like, okay, it unfortunately it was like it kept slotting itself down because other songs got pushed up more.
So yeah, it's like, what songs are you gonna pick first to play? You know what I mean? That's what's easy to decipher is like, yeah, that's the one I'm picking first. That's my number one, whatever. You know what I mean? But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah, man. That's 2 for 2.
2 for 2. Oh man. Well, I know we're not going 1 for 1, but I think this is going to be the closest. Kind of. It really these last these last 5 songs. I think that's really going to be. This is going to be the turning point.
I think we have 6.
I think we either rank for rank on the rest of them, or we are going to be.
It's going to be
It's going to be like your number 12 is my number 1, even though you've already said your number 12. But like it's going to be something like that. We're going to be like polar opposites, or we're going to be pick for pick. Speaking of, Justin,
man.
Let's move on to Second Heartbeat.
that floor tom.
Dude, yeah. Dude, that intro is so good. I love that. That like upbeat, like like, and then all comes in. Oh, dude, that hits me. That hits me right there. And then like that riff, that I tried learning that riff, and it is deceptively hard.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
I mean, it's easy now, but when you've been playing guitar for like 3 weeks, dude, that's a crusher. That will, because you hear it and you're like, oh, dude, I could do that. And then you go to learn it, and it's like it's like a finger twister, like a tongue twister, but for your fingers.
Yeah,
dude, this song's jamming, man. I think so it goes through that part, and then it gets to the verse, which is a little kind of on the weaker side, you know.
Yeah.
I just because of that, like the. We have maybe created the beginning.
It's the circle pit verse, you know?
It is. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I definitely do, like this first chorus kind of bit. I don't know, like this is definitely one of those songs that I've had problems with identifying parts.
Yeah.
Because they do like change up like kind of the vibe and feel for a lot of the songs. But let's take a listen to this chorus. Yeah, and then it has that killer like guitar lead that comes right out of that. I'm not sure if I want to label that as the chorus though.
I feel like the woes are more the chorus, or no, as time passes by. That's probably the chorus.
But that's only at the end of the song.
Is it?
Yeah.
You can have 2 chorusi, right?
Yeah, man. Just call yourself a prog band. You know? No, I feel like because I think they repeat that part enough, and I considered it a chorus, but the part that you talked about, the as time passes by part, I totally think that is like the apex of this song. I know
the hook.
Yeah, this song it goes all over the place, but it is good. I know it's great. I know this is going to sound weird. I don't have as many clips for this as I wanted to, but there's really just so much there. It would be insane to try to like pick it every little bit.
Yeah.
But dude, I cannot undersell how actually good this song is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like between like that intro, I love. You know, the verses are not my favorite, but the ending, I think, makes up for it. This is another third measurement in C.
Yeah.
You know, let's take a listen to a little bit of the outro to this song.
Are you
Okay.
talking my part?
Not your part. No, I got
Okay.
that
Before that part.
what you would call the second chorus.
I feel time passes by. Regrets for the rest of my
Oh my God! It's just flashbacks to Warped Tour, man.
Yeah, dude. That's the pit part. That straight that like
Singy,
right on the snare drum. That's epic. Yeah, dude, this song has so many good like little punk elements to it. And
Yeah.
I love him doing that. Like with all the harmonies,
Yeah.
like the whole band cuts out and it's just after time passes by. Like I'm
good.
jazzed right here and I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
I'm in a chair, you know? But that part always has stuck out to me as like just being like this, like, because I think that is the chorus. They do it once before this part, but to me that it really like for them to essentially drop the beat and then to bring that part in and then to just come in hitting heavy, and then of course Justin, after all the singing nonsense, after all the dumb vocal stuff, do they let Sinister Gates shine?
Yeah, so if we're getting to the very end, man, I'm letting, so there's two parts to this solo. One is kind of, the more tamed down, like kind of, little kind of feature, like a little riffy solo, and then he just loses it, and it is unreal.
It is unreal. So I mean, like the first solo, like even like the drums and everything, like the whole band like chills out. They're still like they're like palm muting. They're like keeping that, but he's got that like, and then they all just like look like it's one of those like you could tell they all just looked at each other and just went,
yeah.
Let's
Have
do
at
it. Let's do it. Let's listen.
We're playing the whole thing because you have to.
You have to.
At least whenever he loses it.
Yeah, so good.
Oh. God.
Oh,
Just so clean right at the end too.
so good. I always loved the that little like westerny like like that always like gets me. I just burn my guitars, man.
Yeah.
I don't need them. I'm not
I
bringing.
won't see you tonight, guitars.
I won't. I'm not adding anything to the world of guitar discussion. That man made a statement.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
man,
I feel
so
like a
good.
baby. Like I'm just a dumb. I play the chords when I play.
All right.
That
Yeah,
just
that's
God.
fine.
And is it the best guitar solo ever written? No.
It's one of my favorites.
But dude, it's so good. It hits me right in that like I think I had a student want to learn that guitar solo once, and I just told him, I was like, go for it.
Yeah.
I'm not helping you. I can
find another teacher, sir.
Yeah, well, I can tell you if the notes that are on the because he came in with the tabs, I think printed off. Like not even like an official release. Like I think he looked up like the where it was like the old notepad.
They're just like all scattered across.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, good luck. That's beyond me. That's and even for most teachers that I know, that's beyond a lot of us. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Justin, man, I know we didn't talk much about this song, but it's like I said, it's got so many good parts. It's all over the place. I love the ending. That ending, like I said, is like another measurement in C or third measurement in C. It is so good. It's epic. This is my number one, dude.
Yeah.
This is my number one song. I think this is absolutely just like the best song on this record. It's got like
Hard agree.
hard agree. Is this your number one?
We tied.
Oh,
we got the 2 number one.
I knew it. And it's not just for the guitar solo.
No.
Like
every element of the song is great.
Every element of this song is great. Honestly, and like us taking small little clips and trying to like listen to each part, because there's a lot to it. Just stop the podcast right now, come back.
Yeah.
Come back. But just go listen. I mean, it's a 7-minute long song.
Yeah.
I'm going to warn
worth
you.
it.
But set aside, turn your phone off. Unless you're listening on your phone, just put it down and just listen to this song. If you are into metal music at all, this has all of it. You know, I think
it is.
Yeah, it's my favorite song on the album, Justin. You go ahead.
Same. Yeah, man. Also, I think they had a demo of this on the Sound 7 Trumpet or whatever, right? Didn't they?
Ooh.
I feel like it was on that record. Maybe this might have been the only one. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I think. Let me see.
But
I like how
I've at least heard a demo of this song, so I thought it might have been from that.
So one of the things, so you said that you, let me see. No, there's nothing on here from Sound.
Well, I've heard a demo of it, and
yeah, so they were talking about how back in the day, they would, doing like Warped Tours and stuff before this album came out. They were giving away CDs for free that it was 2 songs off this album.
Okay.
And
so
that's
probably one of them.
And again, this album was written in their garage. So I imagine this was like just a rinky dink, like, the kind of recordings like you and I would have done. I mean, dude, 2003, you might have had an 8-track player. Like his Sinister Gates' dad was a guitar player. So like, he might have had like some way to record, and they probably like set a mic up in the middle of the room to record drums. They probably did like a little 8-track action. I could see it, but dude, this is a fantastic song.
Yeah, dude, from top to bottom, just flawless song to me.
Flawless song. It
hits everything you want, man. Like you got the happy, fun chorus. You got the woes in there. You got, the fun, dual harmony guitar parts. You got the circle pits. You got the ridiculous solo. It just hits everything.
Yeah. This is I said this a lot on our last like two podcasts on the last 2 episodes. The vibe of songs. I keep saying it. This song is a vibe. This is it's upbeat when it needs to be upbeat. It's epic when it needs to be epic. It's ridiculous. It's silly. It's serious. It's all the things you want it to be. Second Heartbeat, and I remember thinking even back in the day, I was like, I think this is my favorite song, and it still holds true. It's consistently one of the song that I'm looking forward to the most while listening to this record, because I know I'm getting all of it. I'm getting treated to all the good things that this band can offer.
Yeah, it also could be like, I think it's the first song that they change, like the key that they're playing in, because up until now it's all been like just like D minor, like drop D stuff.
Yeah,
and
this one's in C.
This one's in C.
Yeah, it's in C. See,
so
I did
that's
try.
A nice change.
I did try to learn it. I did try to learn it. If there's any cred,
so
I did try to learn it.
They're kind of showing off that they know a little bit around the fretboard. So
yeah. Well, and if you're not a guitar player, the reason why like most like rock stuff is in D is because it's like a really easy way to tune your guitar so that you can play like heavy stuff without having to like really fret anything. And playing in C, now did they play this? Like, did they do drop C? No, they didn't. I don't think they did, because nothing sounds as heavy as like a low dropped C.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why like it's kind of standoutish is because like they couldn't just hit open strings on their instrument and make it sound good. Even though D does kind of work, it just doesn't work in this. Anyway, I
digress.
I'm just gonna edit out all the music theory talk, but it's cool. Anywho, so yes, Justin and I's both number one, dude. I'm telling you, I think we're about to sync up on the reels.
Oh, we might, man.
Except for I think I have.
I thought yours. I think I already said that I thought yours was Remenissions.
Remenissions.
Just because of the classical.
Right. I think at a point it was.
Yeah.
I think for like a day or two it was, and then it slowly again. The more I kept listening to the album, I was just like, I actually think I like this more. But from the get go, this was a 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I knew that when we first brought it up, he was like, "Oh, we could do Avenged Sevenfold," and I was like, "Done."
Yeah. Yeah, it was easy to be like Remenissions, Second Heartbeat, easy. That's definitely top 2.
Yeah,
for me.
Easy. Well, I'm glad, dude. This is our first time our number 1 is synced up.
I know.
This is epic. You heard it here on our 3rd episode. Anywho, Justin, let's move on because we still got some more songs to listen to.
Let's get to that Eclipse.
Not to be
Radiant.
outdone, yeah. We've got Radiant Eclipse. Dude,
insert ridiculous drum fill right when they get to the end of that phrase. Again.
I will. That's actually my next.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. I was going to let us talk about the intro, but you didn't even let me get to that part.
I was like hoping you just extended it to at least that, but.
It's all good, man. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, that is such a good, like, okay, so the one thing I don't like about this intro is I cut it quite a bit into the actual intro. That little like high guitar, like, na na na, where he's just doing the arpeggio, it goes on for a minute. It's like a little too long. Now, when I was young, like because it had that chum chum chum, like it was cool. But now that I'm older, I ain't got time for that. I think live that would be such a cool like, because they could just have him doing that for a while, and then when the band finally decides to come in and like get some like flashing lights on it.
Oh, it's an epic just show intro for sure.
Yeah, that would be a great one. And then to have the Rev doing that, and then to go into that breakdown part, yeah, that's so cool. And it's really interesting too because like it's I don't think it's my favorite intro by a long shot, but how they get from that into the verse part, I think was really smart.
Yeah.
And then, because like the verse part doesn't sound anything like.
You're bringing back that 4 on the floor.
Yeah, that I don't know how.
Oh no, it's just the doom cat doom. If you play the very first verse, I don't know if you have that. If not, but
I don't.
Okay, well, to those listening, they bring out the 4 on the floor again.
Wait, I thought you're all dead to me, dead to me. I thought there was like that upbeat.
That's like the second part of the verse. I think that's the part I chose.
Is it? Let's take a listen.
Yeah.
Let's take a listen. Oh.
So good, man.
I like this verse, man. It's a good verse.
But that's what did they go into is that 4 on the floor.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now
that's
I'm
4 on the
remembering.
floor.
Yeah. And that's, dude, for a guy that, we haven't talked other than just being like the Rev is such a great drummer because of his technical skill. The man's tasty.
Yes.
And he knows when to like let's do the money beat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then like even like that part where he's doing like that kind of up tempo like, and then he gets those like the cymbal like ride, like he's just tasteful drumming and musical too. Like that part, if you were to take those drums out or like that ride cymbal kind of stuff that he's doing, would that part stand out anymore?
Probably not.
No, it wouldn't. And I think that
Yeah.
it adds so much, like I said, like musicality to the song. It's cool, man. I really like this song too.
Yeah.
Other than like the intro is just kind of long, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite part of this song though is that chorus.
Yes.
Is that
that's a good
chorus
one.
bit? Let's take a listen. Man, the change to the major key, even when I was like in high school, I always thought that part just stuck out.
Oh,
And it just felt epic. It felt like heroic in a way.
Yeah.
Like, close your eyes and look away. I'm making it sound like Scott Stapp, and he's not as bad as Scott Stapp. But, dude, I mean, the fact that they do that, then they go into like a little bass break, and then it just gets heavy right back down again, right? Let's take a listen. I've got a little bit of their heavy little section just because it is like, so cool.
Back into the two-step.
Yep, back into the two-step. And that's it. That's kind of the song.
It's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, very simple, but, you know, I think this
I
one...
mean, the intro alone takes up like half the song. So.
That's true. It's a 6-minute song. 2.5 minutes are just intro.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the thing that's kind of nice about it is that they can be so interesting. Like they do have like that. They do progressive things without being like a prog band in a sense that like they don't just do progressive things for the heck of it.
Yeah.
Like each part is still verse, chorus, verse, chorus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bridge sometimes like with a little breakdowny bit, and then like an outro, just like we're just gonna hit like this melodic high part, you know. So very basic, but at the same time, I just dig it. Justin, this is a number 2.
Oh wow,
this is my second favorite.
Damn.
Once again, this was my this was one of my favorite songs from back in the yesteryears.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is probably like super
I
low.
was not gonna call that.
No,
Wow.
I know this is gonna be. I really like that chorus. I like all the little bits to this song just work for me.
You like happy stuff. You like the happy sounds.
Hey man, don't drag me down.
Oh, it's a great one. I just maybe the intro, like the intro's cool and all. It's a little too long in my opinion, but I mean it's sitting nice and cozy at a number 9.
Yeah,
for me.
That's fine.
It's not a bad song.
It's if the chorus part is pulling a lot of weight. That intro is, and I will admit that intro is a slog. But I liked it back in the day. I really liked it because I was like, you can do that. You can have these like, because again, my only other like metal influence was Metallica.
Yeah,
you know, and so like, this was like new ground for me.
Yeah,
but that's
fair.
okay.
I mean, it's a great song too. But I mean, again, they all are.
They all are. Yeah. I'm not in no way offended by a number 9 on your part. I think you're wrong, but no, dude, I can get where this song, because like I said, it is simplistic, They have a few really cool parts. That chorus to me just being like such a key change, and it, like that wrinkle, because I was in band in high school, and anybody that could do like musical composition stuff like that just wrinkled my brain because I wanted to compose music.
Yeah.
And that was just so far out of my wheelhouse at the time that to do it and to make it feel seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I know. Now it's stupid. I don't know why I put it at number 2. Now that you point out that I'm smarter than I was when I was in high school.
Number 2, man.
Number 2.
Interesting.
Number 9.
Didn't see that coming.
Didn't see that one. But so much for us syncing. I knew we weren't going to sync up when like you already chose a number 2.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, I'm eager to see how the rest of this kind of goes.
Let's get to some piano.
Yeah, they take a wild turn here, don't they?
Yeah.
And
this
just
is probably the Rev playing, I imagine.
It is the Rev playing in I Won't See You Tonight, Part 1.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, gotta have a ballad.
It's definitely the ballad.
It's the ballad. You gotta have one. If you're a metal band, you gotta have the one pretty song.
I mean, yeah, you're definitely like, you got the fans blowing the hair for that riff.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah, it's, I mean, like the whole atmosphere of the song, I mean, because it's slower than the rest of the album, obviously, as the ballads tend to be. And like, I think it's a good break from like you're like, you're just getting all these like heavy songs. And I always appreciate like, again, we're talking about album pacing and earlier, and just after like the Eternal Rest, Second Heartbeat, you get a little break with like that intro of Radiant Eclipse that's, you know, just a little slow but still kind of heavy. And then to have just like this really pretty piano part. And again, I mean, they come in heavy, but like right after that heavy part is probably a little featurette that I want to play, which is like this, like, I just imagine, I don't know how he plays it, but it just has this
tapping.
I was about to say it's like a little tapped guitar part, but it just brings the song right back down, right to where it needs to be. And I've always loved his tone, the guitar tone on this. Let's take a listen to how they get out of that heavy part.
So cool.
Yeah, and again, you got like the acoustic or the classical guitar underneath it. You've got that like that little tap like kind of part. It just chills the song down. But I always like, it's just so smart. This is like the most like 80s-y sounding.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like, and that just feels like something you would have heard like an 80s guitar player doing. And I dig it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely the ballad, but super pretty. Chorus is super catchy.
Yeah.
Epic as usual.
It's catchy and it's emotional. You know?
It is.
I want to say like this is like the you know, content warning. If you're someone who deals with like self-inflicted harm or anything, like I think that's what these songs are about. You know, I was looking at the lyrics the other night, and so like if you can't handle that, you know, avoid this song. But I mean, like, it's emotional. It's not like, for all the songs, like none of these songs are like straight up like Sunshine and Roses, you know. But this is the first one that I think doesn't feel like it's like we're trying to be creepy. You know, not to be like, I mean, this just has like a more emotional impact. Let's take a listen to the chorus. Man, you know, I don't know who wrote this song, and I'd be really upset if
Yeah.
you know, like if it's like the Rev, and the Rev didn't kill himself by any means, you know, like you know, it was an unfortunate accident, but like if he wrote this and like, please don't forget me,
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, it's more impactful.
Yeah,
It was
it's the
impactful back
feels.
then, but like even now, like it's definitely got more in the field. I don't mean to bring this podcast down.
Yeah, you brought it down.
I brought it down, but I mean, this is the ballad. This is like the sad.
Yeah.
This is the slow song. You know, just guess what? They're about to change it. But Justin, let's take a listen to your clip, man.
Oh yeah, this is where it gets real high, isn't it?
This is the part. This is where he gets real
Yeah.
high, and the you know like it sounds a little goofy to me, but I also really like just the vibe. Like they get the woes and stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a listen. Yeah, and that goes on for another like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. But dude, it's an impactful song. I really like it.
Yeah.
Justin, this is a number 6 for me.
Yeah, I mean, I know we use middle of the road, but it feels like it should be kind of mid tier, which is, you know, for me actually it's number 5.
Number
So,
5. Right.
yeah.
1 and 2, man. 1 and 2, one
Yeah.
right after the other.
Yeah.
This was my number 3 song.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, and my justification for that was that, you know, like there's so many songs on this album that are samey. They're
Yeah.
good, but they're samey, you know? It's
Yeah.
all haunty, creepy kind of stuff, and I was like, dude, I'm more open to just something that sounds a little different sometimes. And this was higher up, and then I was like, nah. Let me be true to myself. Let's put these other ones where it was. And it kind of knocked itself down. I will say that this is probably one of the first songs that I would skip.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not always in the mood for a ballad, but I'm always in the mood for a punk rock song, you know? Like so like especially when I was younger, this was the boring song.
Yeah. I feel like I used to skip it a lot, you know, growing up with it, and then now it's like I'm about it now.
I can listen. I'm definitely more open to it now. And so
Yeah.
ranking this album, it was so hard because I'm so conflicted between older brain and then dumb high school brain. And the dumb high schooler still inside my heart wanted to keep the ranks that I would have put. And then this one was so much like I was thinking so much more about like, okay, well, where would I actually want to put this? Ultimately, dude, 5, 3, like, dude, all of them could just be again, depends on the day. But I ultimately decided this was, you know, it's a ballad. It's a sad song. I mostly skip it, you know, if I'm listening to it.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a great song. Another goodie.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Which leads us to, oh man, just the transition to this one.
Yeah. So at
sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say at the end of I Won't See You Tonight, they kind of go like radio static on you, or like TV, like white noise TV kind of thing, and then you get this.
And it goes to that part.
Yeah. Dude, this song creeped me out when I was younger. I was not ready for the high-pitched squealy part, the whatever feedback, and then that like, oh, dude, okay, coming from what we just heard
Yeah.
into what we literally just heard, in my brain, when I was younger, I was like, how do you even name this in the same song name?
Yeah.
And it was just like all this emotion that you just built gone, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like the subject matter is still kind of there and whatnot, but man, what a cool, just like instantly, like if this, like the descent into hell, you know, like this is creepy.
I love it.
You love it. You would.
Of course, you'll see later on that they call it back to the chorus of the first one.
Yeah.
They bring that back, which is cool.
Just once.
It doesn't fit at all in this song, but it works.
Can I be honest with you? What fits in this song?
Oh man, it has my second favorite guitar solo, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, before we get to that, let's take a listen to the chorus, because before you think that like they do bring back the chorus from the last song, from part one. They bring it back, and it's not the chorus to this. It's almost like a bridge section. Yeah. This one has like a more sinister-y sounding chorus, which I actually do really like. I think it's a cool like little chorus bit, especially because like this song aren't there some weird time signatures and stuff in it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like this is as proggy as I feel like you get with them. You know? Let's take a listen. Yeah, I think his voice fits so well for that. Like, just again, like how we were saying earlier, like you get this like aggression. This is like an aggressive, like hearing that. Just fine.
It's a note.
Like, I get like I'm at my house. I'm not just gonna like yell, scream right now into the microphone. And honestly, you listeners don't want to hear me do it. But like, I don't know. Like when I was younger, I did not like this song. I didn't do it.
And
as I'm
wasn't my favorite at the time.
Yeah, as I've gotten older, like I can appreciate that part, you know, that chorus part. And I think that melody is really cool. And like even stylistically and compositionally, like I feel like it is so much smarter written than I used to give it credit for.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
And now, Justin, let's go to this guitar solo part that you like.
Oh.
Okay.
So tasteful. So tasteful.
Yeah, and then he just rips.
He goes hams. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that they featured that section on Drumeo, just like his snare placement, like like he's just perfectly executed.
Dude, it is
and to solo over that, like, cause that's the odd time part.
Yeah,
was really cool.
Dude, that whole the two parts together sounds really neat. And I mean, like, if you focus in on one, like, it's cool. Like, if you focus in on the chug and the drums, it's cool. And if you focus on the guitar solo, it's cool. Put them together, forget about it. Forget about it, Justin. Forget about it. That is, dude, it's really cool. And then I think after that is when they go back into the chorus of the previous song. And then after that, dude, they end the song. And like, I've always remember just being like, what did I just listen to?
Yeah.
This was insanity. You know, it was never my favorite song. And I think I've made that very clear. Man, this is a straight 9 for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I get it. But, you know, for me, just that section alone is so sick, that solo. And it's grown on me as I've, you know, aged. And, man, I think I kind of tinkered in the placement of this and the rankings, and it's been stuck at a number 3. That's where I'm keeping
3.
it. Yeah.
You got
know, man.
You know what? This one was never going to be that high for me.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
didn't think it was for me either, but
yeah, with how much so I think when you approach this album and the way that I approach this album is like I'm looking for a very particular sound, which is that punk rock California guitar. This one's not that. And so to me it's like the one that I'm just like I'm not looking for it. It's there and I didn't want it to be there, you know?
Yeah.
But it's still not the worst.
Of course not. No.
It's still not the worst.
It's a 10 album, but
yeah, but I definitely like it more than I used to. And I think again via the order of operations of me moving it from one slot to another, like it unfortunately is at the number 9.
I hear you, man.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it.
Is what it is.
Is what it is. Is what it is. Justin.
We're going to Clairvoyance.
Clairvoyant Disease. That's an intro.
That's just like
that happens.
I'll be honest, like it's when I get to these that I'm just like, oh yeah, these are songs here.
Yeah.
Then I remember that they're like, oh yeah, then some parts happen. I'm like, oh yeah, there's that part.
Oh yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just think that I Won't See You Tonight Part 2 is the last song on the record.
I believe it.
But
I agree, man. That's a boring intro.
Yeah, not much going on.
And I don't know what could save it. You know, and I get like we joke about how like Rev, just do something. You know, or you know, Gates, do something. You know, and I don't like that guitar riff is just so there, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. There's like honestly, this song has always been a skip for me.
Yeah.
You know, like that
same.
That part is just kind of what it is. Now, I mean, and then it goes into like a kind of a clean guitar verse, which I think is like the only clean guitar verse.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I Won't See You Part 1 kind of had a clean verse, right?
Yeah, well, I guess it is a clean guitar, but I feel like it's still piano-y.
Yeah.
Where like the piano
this is just straight up, yeah.
Yeah, this is like
guitar.
straight up like a clean guitar verse. And then you get to a chorus, and I think the chorus is just okay. Let's take a listen.
Don't acknowledge your right, just dwell on wrong. This body nails where I belong.
So, I mean, you get the spooky guitars back.
Yeah.
And that's something. And then, like, I guess this song is a slow burn on an album that has just been, like, in my face the whole time. And then, like, you get to that, and then you get to, like, the little with the,
I think that's
like
what I chose.
That's your part? Yeah. Let's take a listen to that part. Because I do like that's probably my favorite part of this song. And again,
that's why I chose it.
Yeah, but it comes back to like it's kind of like the up tempo, happy guitar lead. You know?
Yeah.
Let's take a listen. Yeah. Then they do a little guitar solo-y kind of thing after that. And then I completely forget where the song goes after that. That's how that's kind of how this song is to me. Cuz like you said, like the I Won't Leave You Tonight 1 and 2 are just like that's where the album ends to me. for the most part. And I feel bad.
Yeah.
And I tried listening to these songs, and I tried to really come at them with fresh ears, you know, like being older. And I still think my feelings kind of stay the same. Like, I thought it's forgettable.
They almost feel like bonus tracks. That's what it kind of feels like to me. And I think, I don't know, it almost feels like they were just like, yeah, let's just slap these at the end of, I mean, obviously the last track, for obvious reasons, makes just the way they ended that song is ridiculous. But
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It feels like they were told by an executive, you have to have 12 songs.
Yeah.
If it's less than 12, it's an EP. For some reason. I think a 10, because all these songs are in the 5 to 6, 7 minutes long. So you're definitely still well above an hour, you know? I think I honestly, man, this song doesn't do it for me. It's my number 11.
Number 11, yeah.
Number 11 for the 11th song on the record.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'm not far in front because I'm at number 10.
Number 10. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think if they had changed maybe the intro part and got me more excited to getting into the song, that might have done it for me. But the second I hear those first like 3 guitar notes, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've already moved on.
Yeah.
Especially when I was younger and I was like more hyper and more like, you know, like, I'm not going to sit around for this. It's not, and unfortunately, you just did the ballad.
Yeah. It just like, I could see it there, you know, being, you know, you just waited like, you know, 5 minutes of silence from the last track. And it's just like that kicks in. You're like, oh, we got more?
We got more.
Oh, we got, yeah. And then I'd be like, all right, let's go. Like that, yeah, after you waited like during some silence, it just feels like a bonus track to me.
I totally agree. Actually, now that you mentioned that, like, yeah, if there were like
imagine that coming in, you're like, oh, what is this?
I get a little more. Yeah, if there were like 8 tracks of silence in between.
Yeah, who does that?
Yeah, nobody does that.
Yeah.
No, dude, I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
You know what, Justin? This is my number 1 now. You changed the game. No. All in all, I mean, I know it's my number 11, your number 10, and I think that just really reflects on, like, again, it's a pacing issue. This is a 10 out of 10 album, and I pretend like this song doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Mostly
the
because
others, I mean, the others are just, you know,
it's
miles ahead.
It's one of those situations of like, this album's not better because of this song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like when everything in the front half of this record is so strong and so good. Yeah. And like, I forget, like if you had played this, it would take me a minute before I was like, oh yeah, that's Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, but it still fits this record. Like I couldn't see it on any other of the records, you know?
I could see that. I mean, I'm just saying I don't think the album benefits from having it. Like if it was gone, if the song itself didn't exist, did it ever exist? You know? Like man, I hate being negative. And I think this is the first time I've just been like, dude, get it out.
It is what it is.
Get it out of here.
You got to get it out.
Get it out. And then Justin, this will take us to the last song on the album, aptly named And All Things Will End. That's what the last song should have been.
Yeah.
Honestly. That's a much better intro. And number 1, slow guitar part, but cool. It's God, I can't give you a thumbs up. I'm not even thumbs upping you. I'm like counting. That's how I do 1. What if I do? Okay. Number 1.
Yeah.
That's a better intro. That's better guitar work.
Yeah.
Number 2, it gets into that like yeah.
Nice.
I like that much better. That actually gets me jazzed. And like you come off of like if let me put it this way, if the song before this one was completely gone and was just like a silent track and then this was like the hidden track, this song probably would have been higher up.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the one that I can never remember what happens in it except for the very end.
Except for the very end.
Yeah.
I
mean,
this
it's
so
the very end. Yeah.
I think one of the standout things for me with this one, the verses are really weak,
Yeah.
but they're weak in the guitar department because I think it is just them sitting there doing like a palm muted chug, kind of like a punk rock kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then vocally, he doesn't scream.
Burn to you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So this is like, and I get that, like, so in their next record, there's hardly any screaming.
Mm-hmm.
At least he does like a scream at like Beast and the Harlot or something like that. Just
It's
in
like the very beginning of the song.
yeah, it's like the intro and then that's it. And I don't know if this was like them in their transitionary kind of stage, or if they really committed, like that quote that I read earlier where they were like, oh, you can sing, like sing.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this was one of their later songs that they wrote that they decided that they wanted to really lean heavier into that, like, let's get away from the screaming thing. You're messing your voice up, you know?
Yeah.
And then, so like this whole verse is just kind of weak-ish to me. And then you get to this chorus, and the chorus feels cheesy to me,
Mm-hmm.
but is miles better
Than the other one.
than the other one. Yeah, I think this definitely seems like it's like pointing towards like the City of Evil kind of stuff. Like you said, it's like 2 years later. I think I'm gonna pull an audible.
Okay.
I had this originally ranked lower,
Yeah.
but before I do, let's give a listen to your clip before I say what
right.
it is. But I'm sure most people can figure it out by this point. Here, let's take a listen to your clip.
Yeah. What's the audible? I'm dying to hear it.
So, Justin, I'm gonna go a little off cuff here. Okay,
Okay.
I want to pull an audible because I think I unjustly ranked this song.
Yeah.
Because after listening to it and after talking about it, and I think where this goes, I did originally have this as my number 12.
All right. So you're switching this with Clairvoyant, I'm assuming?
I'm switching this with Clairvoyant. I did have this as my number 12, and mostly for this. And this is the last minute of the song is this dumb outro. It is so bad, Justin, and I was angry when I heard it. Let's listen to it, and then I will discuss more.
Some local band vibes going on.
I've heard that band at the Burrow.
Yeah.
I hate that outro so much that knocked this song into the 12th spot for me. I
Pretty much.
hate it.
Yeah.
How are you going to... Okay, real talk. We're getting serious right now.
Yeah.
You're going to give me an album that is so good for 90% of the album. And then you're just going to do a cop-out, fade-out, dumb record slow-downy thing. You don't give me no epic ending. You don't give me no multi-chorus awesomeness. You don't give me like some layered, amazing guitar stuff. I know he's like shredding, but I just don't care. It sounds dumb, Justin. I hate it so much. That is why I genuinely think I try to forget that these songs exist. Everything else in this song is actually pretty decent. I'm pulling an audible, Justin. I'm actually going to make this my number 11 because I think Clairvoyant Disease is that boring.
Yeah.
And I think this actually has some like justifiably good parts, whereas Clairvoyant is just like kind of a throwaway song to me. But I'm doing it. I'm doing the first audible live.
The first audible.
The first one. But
yeah, I mean,
I really cannot stress how much I hate that ending because you have such a good record and then you do that.
Yeah. It's kind of a cop-out. Seems like. I agree, and that's why I just kept it under Clairvoyant. It's like I would, even though Clairvoyant's boring to me, I would probably pick that to listen to over this.
You would listen to Clairvoyant over this one?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I can actually make it through the full song. I usually just cut this.
That's fair.
So, I don't know. They're both, they could easily be audibly, or you pull an audible on both of them and switch them.
Okay.
They belong in the bottom because the rest of the record's that much better.
It's so much better. It's
and I do agree kind of how, even the intro is probably better, but to me again, is it like, am I picking that song to listen to? Probably not.
No.
It's still an intro to me. That maybe that won't always be the case, but
I get it. I will. Let me put it this way: I will suffer through the intro way before.
Suffering, man. It's a party.
It's a party. I get hyped. It makes me happy to hear that intro. These two songs do not make me happy. In fact, but
it's still a 10 out of 10 record.
And it's so weird to say because it shows the strength of the songs before this. Because those songs are undeniably probably the most influential songs to me as a young guitar player learning to play and being legitimately influenced in probably one of the first bands that I really remember that I was like, I would follow them. I would read articles about them. I would genuinely like, this was a band I revered and looked up to. It influenced how I played guitar, the way that I wrote songs, the type of music I would listen to. That's what this album means to me. I'm not going to let two songs that could just be bonus track songs really bring this album down. I still think it's in my top, like I said, 5 albums, definitely when I was younger. Maybe even still, like going back and re-listening to this has been an absolute pleasure. It's been a joy. Still some great, like everything about it. The drumming's great, singing's great, guitar playing's great. I mean, the bass is great. It is just one of those things that's like, it is so powerful, so influential to me. Like it will forever hold a very special spot in my heart. That last song sucks for that ending. And the song before that is a snooze fest. And I'm okay with admitting that because everything else is just, rant over, but I just had to get that out there.
It's your final thoughts, man.
These are my final thoughts.
Yeah.
That is how I
agree,
feel about this album. And I rest my case.
Yeah. You had a case.
Court dismissed.
Yeah. Adam's Corner went ham.
I'm sorry about that. Everyone, I'm good. I'm in a good headspace.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun, man. That's a good record.
Let's do the breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's break down the City of We just talked about. Let's break down Waking the Fallen. Our ranks, song by song. We have Waking the Fallen. That was my number 10. Justin's number 12. We have Unholy Confessions. My number 4. Justin's number 6. We had Chapter 4, which was my number 3. Justin's number 4. Remenissions, which was my number 5. Justin's number 2. We had Desecrate Through Reverence, which was both of our number 8s. What's up? Then we had Eternal Rest, both of our number 7s. Dude, the day that we have a complete, like, everyone is just going to, it's coming. It's going to be a party. Then we had Second Heartbeat, both of our number 1s. Dude.
I know, man.
And then we messed it up.
Yeah.
Then we had Radiant Eclipse, my number 2, Justin's number 9. I Won't See You Tonight, part 1, which was my number 6, Justin's number 5. I Won't See You Tonight, part 2, which was my number 9, Justin's number 3. Then Clairvoyant Disease, which is my number 12 now, and officially the first audible mid recording that we decided to change. At least I'm letting the listeners know. I don't know what your ranks are, so I never know if like you're just making it up.
Yeah.
And it was your number 10, and then All Things Will End is both of our number 11s. But we synced up on it dirtily, so I'm not gonna parent that one, but
yeah.
that's how we're gonna do it. And we did it. We got through this album.
Man.
And
this was
number 3. I had a really good time talking about this album. I could probably talk more, and I shouldn't.
Yeah.
lest I rant even more.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Getting all the way to this part of our episode. You can follow us at Beardsby Ranking on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And
G.
What?
No G.
Well, yeah.
I heard the G.
Did I say the G? How did
it sounded like you had the G in there, man.
Southern betrayed me. The whole thing with Southerners is you drop G's at the end of words. Yeah. Follow us at Beardsby Rankin on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You can follow me, Adam B. Ranking, on TikTok and Instagram. Justin, where can they find you?
Same platforms, man. At Justin Scott Riffs, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah, and you can also hear all of his really neat guitar stuff that he does. He does way more than I do on any of these platforms.
It's a grind.
It's a grind. Yeah. So if you're a guitar player, definitely go and check him out. And also, we have a challenge for you this week as well. Once again, we have Justin Scott Riffs. What is this riff? Well, we need to come up with like a title for this section.
It's just can you guess this riff?
Can you guess this
Part
riff?
3.
Part
I guess
3.
I should give the answers for the first 2.
Yeah. We should have done that
ahead.
On the last one. Yeah.
I know.
Well, here, Justin, I'll edit it right here after like your self-plug. I'll be like, Justin, on Guess Your Riff, what was our first week's riff?
It was Thrice. Stare at the Sun chorus.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what's funny is the second you told me, I knew it. So.
Yeah.
But after once you were like, it's Thrice, and I was like, Stare at the Sun. That's all I needed. All guitars sound the same and out of context.
I know, right?
It does. You're like, what is this?
Did you get last week's?
No idea what last week's was.
Well, if you guys recall, that was actually Lip Gloss in Black by Atreyu.
Ooh.
That's one of my first like tapping riffs.
Like that you learned or like?
Yeah, I mean it's super simple. Just like digga 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 digga. I mean it's
yeah.
It's. And then now I imagine you get this one. You gotta get this one.
I've heard that one.
Yep, don't give it away.
I've heard that one.
It finally got one. I think a lot of people should get that one.
That one
hopefully.
that one should be easy. I'm sure these are all easy if like you listen to all of those bands more often than but regardless. Guess that riff. Leave us a comment wherever and let us know how you did. If you can actually guess that riff, and we will let you know what that riff is next time. And Justin, next time we will be ranking The Artist in the Ambulance by Thrice.
Finally. We're finally doing it.
We're doing it.
If you know me, you know I've been waiting to do this. So
Yeah. I imagine the feelings you have about that album is the same as the feelings I have about this one. So
I got a lot to say.
I mean, I'm gonna let you run that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a train wreck. But
No, it won't be that. No. But no, anyway.
we're excited.
Yeah, tune in for that one next week where we do The Artist in the Ambulance by Thrice. And if you would like to listen along and give us your rank, comment us anywhere you can find us. Justin, that's it. Once again, we have gotten to the end of the show.
Did it. See
We
you
did it.
guys
Bye.
next week.
Y'all have a great one. Bye.